Reba here. Welcome back to Gooseberry Homestead. So you guys, I am going to show you just a few items that I'm growing in my living room on this little space right in front of the fireplace right here. And so I've got a little grow light set up here. I just got this at like Home Depot. It's a LED light grow light, so it doesn't use a lot of electricity. And I set it up here, hanging on little S hooks at the corners of the fireplace area, and it works out just great. And so I've got a few items right here, and the rest of my stuff that I'm starting inside this winter will be in window sills, because we got ample amount of window sills to work with, so I will be doing that. But I do have a few plants right here in front of the fireplace, and so I wanted to share those with you guys. In this pot right here are some black goji berries. My sister purchased the seeds from Baker Creek Seed Company, and out of all the seeds, I've only wound up with about 4 plants, and I had planted all the seeds to try to get as many plants as I could to germinate. But I was using that coconut coir this past spring, and there just wasn't enough nutrients in it. And a lot of my plants that I had changed out the dirt, like for my strawberries didn't really grow much either. So I will be switching that dirt out this next spring to just regular potting soil. And I don't mind using the coconut coir. I might mix potting soil with the coconut coir, because I don't want to waste the soil. But in this container right here, I have some of that coconut coir soil. And these items were already growing, but they grow really, really slow in it. So everything will be getting potted up into better soil. I don't want to do too much with this particular container, because I do have some other seeds in the ground on this one. So I really don't want to move them around too much. So yeah, this one's got some little blueberries in it. There's 2 little ones right there with the red leaves. Let's see if I can point them out. Right here, and then right here. And then this is the other little blueberry I grew from seed 2 years ago, and it's only about 1.5 inches tall now. And it lost all of its leaves for this winter already, because I did have it outside, but I decided to bring it in since I did have these little blueberries in here, and I wanted to make sure that they had a little bit, I wanted them to like survive the winter, and we'll see if they do or not. Sometimes when I've done this, I've ended up killing my plants, so yeah. But I did bring these black goji berries into my home because I knew they're not going to make berries this next year. And so I wanted to make sure that they got as much time to grow as possible. So I brought them in. They lost all of their bigger leaves. And in the last week or so, they've put on a flush of growth. And so now they're really starting to take off again. So I'm really, really pleased with this. Then in this container right here, there's some little berries right here. Don't worry about that. I'm trying to remember what they were called. But yeah, I've got that's not mold. I thought I had mushrooms growing in here a few minutes ago, and I was like, oh no, those were little berries that I had picked up. So I can't remember what they're called, but I will think back and I will remember. But in this container right here, I have a tissue culture from Wellsprings. It is a yellow long neck fig tree, and it didn't grow all summer long, you guys. And so now, just recently, this whole top part started growing. And this is the first growth I've had on it since I bought the tree from Wellsprings. And I've had this tree, I'm wanting to say, since June or July. And it didn't do any growing. So that's how that's looking. And then this is some sort of thing my son printed at school and brought home and stuck in my container. Then right here is an African violet that I picked up from my husband's grandmother, who is 95 years old. She let me have one of her African violets. I picked this one, and it's starting to show white edges around some of these, and some of them, the earlier blossoms didn't have the white edges, and I had posted a picture on an African Violet website or Facebook page, and everybody was saying that it looked like a Trinidad, and now that I'm seeing the white around the edges, I think they're correct. So it's a unknown Trinidad, possibly. So it's a very, very pretty African Violet. I do need to separate it out. It's got a really long stem, and it needs to be repotted. It's got a massive stem, and I got a whole nother down in here. I've got another whole baby plant right there, and then this is the other side, and it's in a very, very deep pot. So I do need to get some African Violet containers, split those up, and maybe possibly see if anybody wants African Violet leaves to propagate. Then in this container right here, I stuck some grape vines or from the grapes into the dirt to see if maybe they might root. I've never done it before, so I'm just experimenting. And then I've got some blueberry sticks in the ground, so we'll see if they survive or not. I haven't had any success. I think you really need to work with humidity and getting them to like actually propagate properly. So I was just experimenting. No harm if they don't make it. It's all good. And then the rest of this is rooted Chilean guava. And so, yeah. So I don't think this was exactly, I was wanting to get the myrtle bush from Rain Tree, and I accidentally ended up getting this one instead. So yeah, that was my fault. But it roots really easily, so I was very happy with that. So these are all rooted plants, and I will be able to sell the baby cuttings in the spring. So I'm really excited about that. And then over here is my little experiment with growing African violets from the leaves. And this leaf looks like it's dying, so probably not gonna make it. And then on the floor right here, I have a piece of vinyl so that my floor doesn't get wet. But I have a Black Madeira from, I guess, Island Black Madeira. We did some trades, and I had given them a bunch of my Thundercloud elderberry bush cuttings, and they sent me a couple cuttings off of a couple of their other trees and this Black Madeira fig tree. So I'm really excited about that. And then right here is my jalapeno. Basically, it's a jalapeno mixed with a bell pepper. And anyways, this one has ripened to a red color now. And I've got a few more on here. And so I've got this. I'm overwintering to see how well it does. I do need to clean up my mats because I've been doing a little bit of gardening right here in the living room. So I need to vacuum and stuff. And then down here is a little tiny miniature bell pepper. So we'll have to wait and see how that does. This last year in the garden was just crazy, you guys, and things just didn't grow. And that's how big it's like 8 inches tall. It's like what you would get in the spring as a start. And so my plants did not grow very well this spring because we had such a mild spring and summer. So that's what I ended up with these particular ones. And so some of my stuff did really great in the garden. Some of it didn't do so great at all. And, that's just how it goes sometimes. So I'm overwintering these, see how well they do inside. I think they'll be all right. So far, I've had these ones in the house for the last 2 months, almost the entire month of November now. And then I had it in the house in October so that they wouldn't get taken out by the frost. I'm so glad I brought them in. And so, yeah. So that's what I've got growing right up here under the grow light. And I'm pretty pleased with it all. It's all looking pretty good. I'll probably move things around. I may move things to the windows, the windowsills. I might move this one up into the windowsill. So we'll just have to wait and see. But anyways, you guys, thanks for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. Click that bell button. As always, have a wonderful day, and God bless. Bye.